215 miles per hour. That's the wind speed of Hurricane Patricia, the strongest hurricane ever recorded. But how does a storm become so powerful, and what happens when it meets land? In this documentary, we'll take you inside the eye of Patricia, from its rapid intensification to its devastating landfall. You'll witness the transformation of vibrant Mexican coastal towns into ghost cities and see how a monster storm can reshape landscapes and lives. On October 20th, 2015, a seemingly innocuous tropical depression formed south of Mexico in the eastern Pacific Ocean. This budding storm system, initially unremarkable, would soon evolve into one of the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded. The storm's core became more defined, with bands of intense thunderstorms wrapping around its center. Patricia's initial intensification was relatively modest. For the first day after its classification, the storm strengthened only marginally. This slow start belied the explosive growth that was to come. Aware of the potent environmental factors, forecasters watched with growing concern as Patricia continued to organize and intensify. 2 days later, Patricia reached hurricane strength. The storm now boasted a well-defined eye surrounded by a dense wall of thunderstorms. Prominent outflow patterns and distinct banding features were visible on satellite imagery, hallmarks of a powerful and still strengthening hurricane. As Patricia continued to feed on the warm waters of the eastern Pacific, it showed no signs of slowing its intensification. Little did anyone know that Patricia was about to embark on one of the most remarkable periods of rapid intensification ever observed in a tropical cyclone. In the coming hours, this formidable storm would transform into a monster of unprecedented strength, shattering records and challenging our understanding of hurricane dynamics. The stage was set for Patricia to make meteorological history. In the annals of hurricane history, rapid intensification fascinates and terrifies meteorologists. But Patricia was about to redefine what rapid truly means. Within just 24 hours, this storm would transform so extreme that it would leave seasoned hurricane experts questioning everything they thought they knew about tropical cyclones. Patricia was already a formidable hurricane. But what happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. Over the next 24 hours, the storm's maximum sustained winds increased by 120 miles per hour. This rate of intensification dwarfed previous records, leaving meteorologists scrambling to comprehend the sheer magnitude of Patricia's growth. Patricia quickly tore through the hurricane categories, reaching Category 5 in record time, the highest level on the scale. When Patricia crossed this threshold, it entered a realm of intensity rarely seen in recorded history. Patricia's central pressure dropped by 95 millibars in just 24 hours, pushing the limits of hurricane intensification. Dr. J. Marshall Shepard, a highly regarded meteorologist, said, "We're witnessing something we've never seen in the eastern Pacific." With the help of the Dvorak technique, a sophisticated method for estimating hurricane intensity from satellite data, we could quantify the storm's central pressure and how its winds howled with increasing fury. The suspense built as Patricia approached its peak intensity. Would the storm continue to strengthen? How much more powerful could it possibly become? On October 23, 2015, these questions were answered as Patricia climaxed. Suddenly, it reached peak winds of 215 miles per hour with a central pressure of 872 millibars. This made it the strongest tropical cyclone ever recorded in the Western Hemisphere, breaking several records. As Patricia maintained this incredible intensity and continued its march toward the Mexican coastline, attention turned to the potential impact of such a powerful storm. With wind speeds capable of demolishing even well-built structures and a storm surge that threatened to inundate coastal areas, the question on everyone's mind was, what would happen when this monster made landfall? Imagine evacuating nearly 50,000 people in less than 48 hours, while the strongest hurricane ever recorded barrels towards your coastline. This was the monumental task facing Mexican officials as Patricia approached. Their actions in the coming hours would determine the fate of thousands. As Patricia neared the coast, Mexican authorities sprang into action, implementing emergency measures on an unprecedented scale. The government issued escalating warnings, starting with a hurricane watch on October 21st for Michoacán, Colima, and Jalisco. As the storm intensified, these warnings were upgraded and expanded, eventually covering a stretch of coastline from Cabo Corrientes to Punta San Telmo. Patricia's sheer power posed unique challenges for emergency responders. Standard hurricane preparations, typically sufficient for Category 3 or 4 storms, seemed woefully inadequate in the face of Patricia's record-breaking winds. Officials had to quickly adapt their plans, focusing on evacuating as many people as possible from the most vulnerable areas. As Patricia bore down on the Mexican coast, the tension was palpable. Despite the extensive preparations, uncertainty loomed. Would these measures withstand the fury of the strongest hurricane ever recorded? The world watched and waited as Patricia approached, officially making landfall as a Category 4 hurricane. The actual test of Mexico's preparations was about to begin as attention turned to the storm's immediate impact on the coastal communities in its path. The world braced for catastrophic destruction as Hurricane Patricia, the strongest storm ever recorded, landed on Mexico's Pacific coast. With wind speeds of 150 miles per hour, experts anticipated widespread devastation on a remarkable scale. However, an unexpected scenario unfolded as the hurricane's eye crossed the coastline. Patricia's core, containing its most destructive winds, passed through a sparsely populated region of Mexico's western coast. This stroke of luck meant that major population centers like Puerto Vallarta and Manzanillo narrowly escaped a direct hit from Patricia's most intense winds. While significant population centers narrowly avoided Patricia's full force, rural communities bore the brunt of its fury. Among them was Emiliano Zapata, a small town where violent storm winds reduced homes and landscapes to ruins. Witnessing this devastation firsthand was Josh Morgerman, a renowned storm chaser known for his fearless pursuit of hurricanes and his ability to capture their raw power. Josh and his team positioned themselves in Emiliano Zapata to experience a storm's landfall unlike any other. Patricia, a Category 5 monster with unimaginable power, was bearing down on the small Mexican town. Accustomed to the chaos of hurricanes, Josh was ready to document history, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to unfold. "Why am I posting a picture of a dark bathroom with a mattress wedged in the ceiling?" Josh later wrote. "Because it protected me and 7 other people." At 6 p.m., the atmospheric pressure fell to 937.8 millibars, signaling the storm's near-total dominance of the environment. For a moment, there was a deceptive calm. The winds still howled, but patches of blue sky peeked through the clouds. To Josh, it felt like they were skirting the edge of Patricia's eye. Could this be the worst of it? But this moment of reprieve was short-lived. As the clock ticked towards 6:34 p.m., Patricia revealed her full fury. A sudden shift in wind direction brought a wall of wind and rain that engulfed the hotel in a deafening roar. As the storm intensified, the hotel trembled under Patricia's might. Crashes echoed through the building as sections began to give way. "We heard a terrific explosion," Josh recalled, "and assumed the roof had blown off. We were right." A man burst into Josh's room pleading for help. Across the hall, a family's room had been obliterated, roof, ceiling, and all. The hallway had turned into a wind tunnel, but Josh's chase partner, Eric, rushed to bring the family to safety without hesitation. The group, 6 adults and 2 terrified children, crammed into a tiny bathroom, huddling together in the dark. The mother wept, Josh recounted. "She was freaked out. I told her not to worry, that we were safe, but I was lying." The bathroom offered little protection. Water streamed through the ceiling, and the structure seemed ready to collapse. In desperation, Josh and Eric tore a mattress off the bed and wedged it into the bathroom ceiling, creating a makeshift shield against the debris crashing around them. As the storm raged outside, the group waited, pressed together like trapped animals. The pressure began to rise rapidly, 31 millibars in just 26 minutes, but those minutes felt like an eternity. The relentless howling and crashing filled the air as Patricia's core tore through the town. Finally, by 7 p.m., the winds began to calm. Cautiously, the group crept out to witness the aftermath. "The devastation was unimaginable," Josh said. "Smashed rooms, mountains of debris, and trees stripped bare. The once vibrant landscape had been transformed into a barren wasteland." As night fell, the group huddled together, sleeping on the damp mattress that had saved their lives. Outside, the eerie chirping of crickets returned, starkly contrasting with the chaos that had consumed the town just hours before. The morning after, Josh and Eric joined locals in cleaning up the wreckage. They had survived the fury of Hurricane Patricia, but the town of Emiliano Zapata bore the scars of nature's most fearsome force. As they drove toward Manzanillo, they carried with them a profound respect for the power of the storm, and a reminder of the fragility of human life in the face of nature's wrath. What would you do in the face of such devastation? Could you endure? Josh's story is a testament to resilience and the will to survive, even when the odds seem impossible. While Mexico breathed a sigh of relief, the actual cost of Hurricane Patricia was only beginning to emerge. As communities surveyed the damage, they faced an unexpected challenge that would test their resilience in ways they never imagined. The storm's impact on agriculture would prove to be Patricia's most enduring legacy, reshaping the economic landscape of affected regions. The destruction scale became apparent in Patricia's landfall's immediate aftermath. Approximately 9,000 homes were damaged or destroyed across the affected areas, with the coastal hamlet of Chamela bearing the brunt of the storm's fury. The hurricane's powerful winds had torn roofs from buildings, uprooted trees, and stripped countless others of their branches. Infrastructure damage was extensive, leaving nearly 262,000 people without electricity. Recovery operations began in earnest, with almost 6,000 Marines from Mexico's Naval Infantry Force deployed to assist with rescue and rebuilding efforts. The Red Cross quickly initiated needs assessments and began distributing humanitarian aid to those most affected by Patricia's destructive path. The efficiency of these efforts was evident in the rapid restoration of power, with 88% of affected areas regaining electricity within just 2 days of the storm's passage. Neighbors banded together to rebuild homes, sharing resources and labor to expedite the recovery. These acts of collective resilience highlighted the importance of social bonds in the face of natural disasters, providing a model for future disaster response efforts. The lessons from Patricia's profound impact and the subsequent recovery efforts have catalyzed significant advancements in hurricane preparedness and response strategies. Coastal communities across Mexico have prioritized enhanced early warning systems, streamlined evacuation procedures, and bolstered infrastructure resilience. As the country reflects on its narrow escape from potential catastrophe, attention now turns to the broader implications of Patricia's unprecedented intensity, sparking critical discussions about the future of tropical cyclones in our changing climate. As the stakes continue to rise, how do you think our evolving understanding of these phenomena could play a role in safeguarding lives? What steps would you personally take if faced with a similar situation? Comment down below.